People calling 911 with a Verizon wireless phone in Billings, Yellowstone County, across the state and country continue to have issues with the service this morning. Billings Fire Chief Bill Rash says Verizon is working on a solution but does not know when 911 services will be fully restored. So until then, the public should call the dispatch center at 406-657-8200 if they can't get through using 911. The issue was first reported on Saturday. When a call is made to 911, Verizon customers are met with a message of, "This number is unavailable."
It's a life safety issue. We just want to make sure we get the message out there. If you call 911 and specifically if you're a Verizon on Verizon wireless and you can't make contact with the 911 center and you get a cannot connect or whatever else, to call 657-8200 and our 911 operators will be manning that phone and they'll be able to take that emergency call.
Similar outage reports are coming from the Bozeman area and as far away as San Diego. Now for a check of the day's national headlines, actresses Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman are among 50 people charged in the largest college cheating scheme ever prosecuted. Investigators say wealthy parents paid ringleader William Rixinger, who has already pleaded guilty, a total of $25 million to get their children into top American colleges. The alleged scheme involved bribes, cheating on entrance exams, and fake athletic profiles. Dozens of airlines and countries have halted flights of Boeing 737 MAX jets after Sunday's crash that killed 157 in Ethiopia. That crash, following the Lion Air tragedy in Indonesia in October, has many demanding flights be suspended in the U.S. Yesterday, the FAA said its review so far shows no system performance issues and, quote, provides no basis to order grounding the aircraft. And in a statement, Boeing said, "We have full confidence in the safety of the MAX." And an Australian judge sentenced Cardinal George Pell to 6 years in prison. He is the most senior Catholic official ever convicted of child sex abuse. Pell molested 2 choir boys in a Melbourne cathedral in 1996. The 77-year-old says he is innocent and his lawyers plan to appeal. The former Miles City athletic trainer accused of sex crimes involving teenage athletes pled guilty Tuesday in a Missoula federal courtroom. MTN's Kent Lutzen was there and brings us the latest.
On Tuesday, James Jensen, 79 years old, wearing an orange jumpsuit, was pushed into the courtroom using a wheelchair. This is where he pled guilty to using the internet to develop a so-called program, a system he used to coerce 100 young male athletes into sexual acts. Jensen made them believe it would increase their physical performance. Jensen says he received all these teachings from the internet. In the early part of Tuesday's hearing, Judge Dana Christensen spent a majority of the time going over Jensen's mental capacity, his understanding of the plea change from not guilty to guilty, making sure Jensen was aware of what was happening and the charge against him. Later, the defense picked apart the prosecution's criminal complaint. Jensen admitted to 1 case of oral sex, but denied digital penetration. Jensen added he has no recollection of phone calls with young boys about the program, but did keep some sort of logbook. He also says he doesn't remember inappropriate hernia checks on young wrestlers in Watford City, North Dakota. Yet one sexual abuse survivor recalls that interaction. However, Jensen does admit to doing hernia checks in Miles City. Despite the objections, both the prosecutors and the defense agreed there was enough evidence to move forward with the guilty plea. Prosecutors did add internet searches on Jensen's computer were consistent with an interest in children. The potential sentence for this charge is a maximum 15 years in prison, up to 3 years, supervised release, and a $250,000 fine. Now a pre-sentencing investigation will be underway. Jensen will be sentenced on July 30th of this year in Billings. Reporting outside the federal building in Missoula, Kent Lutzen, MTN News.
Jensen also faces state criminal charges after a worker told authorities she saw child pornography in his Miles City apartment. Meanwhile, Northwestern Energy is in the middle of a major rate case. It's asking regulators to approve a 7.4% increase for its 300,000 residential users. But it's not without controversy. The cost and future of Northwestern's share in Colstrip's power plant has become a flashpoint. Last month, environmental groups submitted written testimony saying Northwestern Northwestern's share of the Colstrip 4 plant is valued too high and customers will overpay for the plant going forward. An attorney for Northwestern said environmental groups want to use the rate case to pursue their goal of shutting down Colstrip.
I think that customers have already been gouged, are already paying an inflated price for Colstrip. We don't want that to continue. We don't want it to get worse than it already is.
Next, the Public Service Commission will decide if testimony on Colstrip should even be allowed in the rate case. Northwestern has asked the commission to strike all testimony about the future value of Colstrip and its closure plans. Now we go to Great Falls, where there's a new warning about the potential threat to nuclear weapons from Chinese phone technology. Hidden beneath Maelstrom Air Force Base are more than 100 nuclear missiles. Next to that, a cell tower that belongs to Triangle Communications. They use technology from Chinese company Huawei. The company recently sued the U.S. for banning their products because of a security threat. Triangle uses radio transmitters close to an area security experts fear could be targeted with network attacks.
We're deeply concerned about the risks of allowing any company or entity that is beholden to foreign governments that don't share our values to gain positions of power inside our telecommunications networks.
Companies like Triangle that own these towers are part of the Rural Wireless Association, who say a quarter of their members buy Huawei because it's far cheaper. The Pentagon said they are working closely with industrial and research partners to develop comprehensive and innovative solutions. Elsewhere, President Trump officially put his signature on the public lands bill after it passed overwhelmingly in both the House and Senate. Montana U.S. Senator Steve Daines was there for the ceremony at the White House, calling it a big day for Montana and a big day for America.
Of course, what we see from this bill will be a key win for LWCF, allowing permanent reauthorization now, which brings together certainty where there was uncertainty about whether or not Congress would reauthorize the program. It's now permanently reauthorized. And then second, certainly the Yellowstone Gateway Protection Act.
While the bill permanently reauthorizes the Land and Water Conservation Fund, there's still a fight ahead to fund it. The president's budget only includes about 10% of the full $900 million it's authorized to receive. While Democratic Senator Jon Tester also praised the passage of the public lands bill, he criticized the president for cutting funds to LWCF. Tester said, "I hope the president's cheerleaders put money where their mouth is and fully fund this critical conservation initiative." Both Senator Tester and Daines are on the Appropriations Committee, and Daines says both will stand strong to try and get full funding for the LWCF. In other news, the Montana governor's goat tag was auctioned off this weekend, and it went for a whopping $60,500.
I sold the Montana goat for $59,000.
The Great Falls chapter of Safari Club International held its annual banquet on Saturday. It was the 10th year they have auctioned off the governor's tag for a Montana mountain goat. 90% of the auction proceeds go back to Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks. Last year, the tag sold for $30,000, but this year is a new record.
It was electric, is all I can tell you. The crowd, we had 350 people there. The crowd got into it. Everybody was cheering and kind of egging each bidder on. We had 2 bidders right there on the floor, so really a very high level of excitement.
And she says over the years, the auction has raised about $208,000 for FWP. In news from Glacier National Park, backcountry camping permits open this Friday, but this year there's a new twist. All advanced reservation applications received on March 15th will be processed in random order using a lottery system. The change comes after so many applications were submitted on the first day last year that it overwhelmed the system. Glacier National Park Public Affairs Officer Lauren Alley says the lottery system is more fair for people with slower internet connections or people who struggle with technology. All applications submitted after March 15th will be processed in the order they are received. And in Yellowstone National Park, we know it's spring when the first grizzly bear of 2019 makes an appearance. Visitors observe the bear emerging for spring between Canyon Village and Fishing Bridge. Male grizzlies typically come from hibernation in mid-March. Females and cubs usually come out in late April. Yellowstone officials say visitors need to remain back even when on the boardwalks around Old Faithful. This also means it's not too early to start carrying that bear spray. Well, for the third year in a row, Billings rolls out the red carpet for the 500 student athletes who make up the NAIA Division I Women's National Basketball Championship. Coaches and players from 32 teams started arriving Tuesday afternoon. It's been nonstop basketball in the Rimrock Auto Arena for 4 straight weeks. The NAIA Women's Tournament spans 7 days, giving players and coaches an opportunity to take in a little bit of Big Sky country, and it's perfect timing.
This is a really big economic boost to Billings. We got to remember that we're still in winter. It's the middle of March, yes, but it's 2 weeks ago we were sub-zero. So it's nice that we have the all-class state wrestling, Southern B divisional, Southern A divisional, state basketball, and then go right into this. It really is something that helps us through these kind of colder, slower value season months. Without volunteers, without businesses, without honorary coaches, without the schools, without a huge team of people coming together, we would not be able to host this event.
And remember to keep an eye on the 4 Montana teams chasing that championship trophy. To learn more about the NAIA, you can visit ktvq.com.